there's this feeling I keep coming back to. It's not anger, it's not sadness. It's quieter than that. It's the kind of frustration that doesn't explode. It just sits there. You still go to work, you still answer messages, you still do what you're supposed to do. From the outside, everything looks fine, but internally, it feels like something is slightly off, like you're stuck between wanting more and not knowing what more even is. That's the frustrating part, because if something was clearly wrong, you could point at it, you could fix it, you could make a decision, but this isn't that. It's waking up and feeling like you're behind, without being able to explain behind what. It's knowing you're capable of more, but not being able to translate that feeling into action. And that gap just sits there. I think quiet frustration comes from repetition. Doing the same things, thinking the same thoughts, having the same conversations with yourself. Not because you're lazy, but because nothing feels urgent enough to force a change. Days blur together. Weeks move faster than they should. And suddenly, you're asking yourself how time is moving so fast while you feel so still. There's no big moment where you realize it. It sneaks up on you. One day you just notice that you're tired. Not physically, but mentally. Tired of feeling like you're waiting for something that never actually arrives. Sometimes I wonder if the frustration comes from pressure. Pressure to have things figured out. Pressure to be progressing in a visible way, and when you're not, you start turning that pressure inward. You tell yourself you should be doing more, thinking clearer, moving faster, but instead of motivation, it just creates noise. And that noise makes it harder to tell what you actually want versus what you think you're supposed to want. Quiet frustration doesn't make you dramatic. It makes you numb. You still function, but you're not fully present in your own life. You scroll more. You zone out more. You put things off, not because you don't care, but because caring feels heavy. Sometimes it's tied to fear of change. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's just the feeling of being out of sync with your own potential. And that's a weird thing to sit with, because you don't want to complain. Nothing is wrong enough. But ignoring it doesn't make it go away either. I don't have a solution for this. I'm not trying to wrap it up nicely. I'm just noticing that when you don't listen to that frustration, it slowly turns into resentment towards yourself, your routines, your days. Maybe the point isn't to immediately fix it. Maybe it's just to stop pretending it isn't there, to admit that feeling stuck doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes it looks like being quietly dissatisfied with a life that's technically fine, and maybe that honesty is the first real movement. Anyway, those are just some thoughts. If this felt familiar, you're probably not broken. You're probably just paying attention. I'll see you in the next one.